Right, in this lesson, we're going to look at the topic of watches. In IELTS, there are often questions in part one about accessories. Accessories are things like earrings, jewellery, watches, belts, bags, things like that. I think watches has become popular again because fashion and technology are changing, right? Nowadays, wearables are becoming very popular. Wearables are these kind of, smart electronic devices you wear, like an Apple Watch or your fitness tracker. Maybe you wear here or here, right? And your fitness tracker tells you that you're still too fat because you haven't walked your 10,000 paces. Thanks, Apple. So let's have a look at some of the vocabulary that might come up in this topic with watches, right? So wearables is a countable noun, but generally we use it in the plural. Wearables are popular. Basically smart electronic devices that we wear. Sometimes it's called wearable technology, as I mentioned, or fashion technology. Another thing related to fashion, a fashion statement, right? And this is basically things that you wear that show other people the type of person you are. So if I wear Italian shirts all the time, that maybe tells people I like Italy or Italian fashion or Italian quality. It's a bit of a fashion statement. Okay, let's have a look now at the questions you might get with this topic of watches. Do you wear a watch? Have you ever got a watch as a gift? Why do some people wear expensive watches? Is it important to wear a watch? Okay, let's have a look at the first question. I'm going to ask you, and I want you first to try and answer. Remember, short, 10 to 20 seconds. Ready? Do you wear a watch? Okay, thank you. Good. Now here's something I might say. I used to, but I don't anymore. I don't really see the need to, as my phone can tell me the time as well as a zillion other things. I know that wearables are coming back in fashion, but they're not really for me. So let's have a look at some of the language I used in that answer. Okay, I began, I used to, but I don't anymore. Used to means something that you did in the past, but you don't anymore. Here, you don't have to say I don't anymore, but what I'm doing is emphasizing that the activity is finished. Notice pronunciation, used to. It's not used to. No, although it's written like that, it's used to. I used to. I don't see the need to, meaning I don't think it's necessary. It's a very nice natural expression. So when my wife says at the weekend, shall we clean the house? And I go, I don't really see the need to. It looks clean to me. Although my wife usually disagrees. And we have to clean the house. I don't see the need to. Because, or as, my phone can tell me the time. As well as a zillion other things. A zillion is informal English. It means a lot of. So we talk about a million, a billion, and then exaggerating a zillion things. It just means a lot of things. I know wearables are coming back in fashion. We've talked about wearables, Apple Watch, fitness tracker. To be in fashion, you probably know, to come back in fashion, that it was once, it stopped, and now it is. Fashion goes in cycles, right? what was fashionable 20 years very often comes back into fashion. Come back in fashion, come back into fashion. Both are okay. But they're not really for me. It's not for me means it's not suitable for me. I don't like it, right? It's not for me. Everybody is into wearing Apple Watches. It's not for me. I don't want to. That's it. Great. Now I'll ask you another question. And again, I want you to take 10, 15 seconds to give me your answer. Think on your feet, right? Why do some people wear expensive watches? Thank you. Okie dokie. Nice try. Let's have a look at something that I might say. Well, for those people, I guess an expensive watch is a fashion statement. It's a way for them to show off their wealth or status. I suppose they may also think that the best quality watches are the most expensive ones. Let's have a look at some of the language in that answer. So I begin with a referencing for those people, of course, referring to the people who wear expensive watches. For those people, I guess an expensive watch is a fashion statement, right? That means it's a way of telling people something about them. Basically here, that they have a lot of money, right? If it's expensive, look how rich I am. A fashion statement. And then I go on to explain it's a way for them to show off. To show off something is to be, well, to show the world in a very arrogant way how good you are. It has a slightly negative connotation to show off. We also have the noun a show off, right? That boy in school who's very good at maths, he's always giving the right answer. He's a show off, right? It's a negative thing. I talk about students trying to show off their language in IELTS speaking. I don't mean in a negative way, but, you know, to show how good you are. So to show off their wealth or status. Status, of course, is your position in society, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're a leader or a follower, whether you're royalty or upper class, or whether you're lower class. It's your status. I suppose it's a variation on I think or I guess or I reckon. They may also think the best quality watches are the most expensive ones, right? So here's substitution. Instead of repeating the most expensive watches, the most expensive ones. Simple, nice substitution showing your control of the language. That's it. Great. That brings us to the end of the lesson on watches. What time is it? Oh, I don't wear a watch. My phone. Time for lunch. See you later. See you in the next video.